Hello and welcome to another IT tutorial video. In this video we're going to be looking at how to use Blackboard's built-in collaboration tools to create journals for your students to complete online. This is the third in a three-part series on creating collaborative content in the Blackboard system. In our first video, we looked at how to use discussion boards to facilitate in-class discussions and sort of like a digital seminar group. And in our second, we looked at how to create blogs, which are really supposed to be like a public-facing journal for your students to learn off of each other and to exchange ideas. And in this video, we're going to be looking at journals, which are like a blog in a lot of different ways, but the only big difference is that they're designed to be private. So these can be really useful if you've got a course that has very sensitive topics in it, that you want the students to reflect and on their own understanding about readings and course material, but you don't want those reflections to be shared with the class. And it's a lot easier to do than just your average sort of email type system. So without further ado, let's look at how to create journals. And if you watched our video on blogs, the process is nearly identical. In fact, the blog and the journal programs are almost exactly identical in Blackboard. The only real difference is that one is really designed to be public and posted, and the other one isn't. So what we're going to do is we're going to, on the side menu here, we're going to click Journals, and we're going to click Create a Journal. And remember that this is the digital equivalent of a physical thing, so when you're making your journal, it really can have as many entries as is needed, right? And as the instructor, you will see all the students' entries, but as a student account, I will only see the entries that I have posted. So the name of your journal should relatively correspond to the assignment that it's being done on in the course. So if it's reflection assignment, for instance, or maybe weekly reflection, or whatever makes sense for your course is what you want to put in for the name, but remember it should be related to an assigned part of the course. The instructions box, you can put your instructions in here for your students. Again, you'd probably want to put that on your syllabus. But it's really easy to just stick it in here, and it sort of jogs the students thinking about what they're kind of supposed to start to do in this situation. So that's a good thing to enter into there. Availability, we have our sort of standard availability options. You can set those as you wish. And then again, just like blogs, we have the index, so how these are going to be categorized. And again, just like with blogs, this goes back to how you're designing this assignment. If you want the students to sort of contribute monthly or weekly, it's up to you here. Again, though, this is not going to stop the student from entering many different entries if they so choose. It's just a question of searchability that makes things a little bit easier for you. I'm going to toggle mine to weekly and move on to the options again. We have a few other little options here. Allow users to edit or delete entries. So this is after they have written and posted an entry, whether you want them to have the ability to take that away or edit it later. Allow users to delete comments. So if you do have an open journal, there is the possibility of doing that. You can do that in here, and whether they should be able to delete comments or not. And then permit course users to view the journal is whether you want to share this with the entire class. And this is really confusing for a lot of people. They sort of think like, well, if I'm going to do that, I might as well have a blog, and that's exactly what blogs are for. But, you know, just for transparency's sake, it is possible to have an open journal type system, and then in which case it would have exactly the same functionality as a blog would. So anyway, that's up to you whether you want to turn that on or not. I would recommend leaving it off. And then again, grading, how many points is the entire journal assignment out of, and after how many entries do you want needs grading to show up. So after how many times they contribute to their journal, do you want them to, do you want the Grade Center to direct your attention to it for marking? So that's up to you again, whatever makes the most sense. And then you can have a due date. Now remember though that this is the due date for the entire journaling assignment. So ideally, what I'm thinking most people will probably want to do in here is to have a journal that students contribute to weekly throughout the course of an entire semester. So if you have the due date, this would sort of be at the end of the semester, and you would want your students to just do it sort of weekly on their own. But again, that's entirely up to you. I'm going to click Submit, and there we go. There's our journal here. You can see how many entries are created. You can click on here to go in and actually view the journal. So these are all my journal entries here. And again, just like with blogs, we have to make an icon for this journal so that our students can go and see it. So I'm going to go to Tools, Journals, and I'm just going to pick my link to a journal from here and set all my display options. So again, I'm going through this really quickly, but blogs and journals have almost identical features. So if you're really curious about how these sort of look in depth, the best thing to do is to go back and take a look at our blogs video. And just know that journals are exactly the same thing. The only real difference is that one is meant to be private and one is meant to be public. As always, if you have any questions or would like some help in setting up a journal-based assignment for your class, you can email us at it@trentu.ca and we would be happy to assist you. Thank you for watching.